Showing up online every day will never be an easy task, and I can tell you this from experience that this is a fact. But the sad reality is, it's the only way for us to grow. We have to show up online. People have got to see the value that we can give and how we can transform their life. So, even though it is not easy, this is something that we must do. And that's why in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my 5 strategies that keeps me consistent, because over the last couple of weeks, I have been showing up consistently, and I think it deserves a great win in itself. So hopefully you're able to learn a thing or two from my strategies so that you can also stay consistent in your online journey. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adeyinka, and I help working professionals monetize their skill set so that they can build a 6-figure business without having to quit their jobs. And like you know, I have been documenting my own journey of monetizing my business skill set. So I'm also starting from scratch, just like you, and I know how difficult it can be to stay consistent. Now, the first strategy that has kept me consistent over the last couple of weeks is the fact that I am not focusing on perfection. I am just focusing on making progress. So the goal for me is I must create content and I must post that content, whether it's perfect, whether it's not perfect. As long as that content is valuable and as long as it's going to help my intended audience, that's my focus. Because when I try to be perfect, when I try to look at all of the things that I need to do, it's overwhelming, and sometimes I don't even want to post. But when I think of the fact that you just have to focus on progress. This week, your goal was to post 5 times this week. Did you post 5 times this week? Yes. And that's a win for me. And I noticed that having this mindset has been a game changer. It has helped me to stay consistent, because right now, every day when I wake up, it's like, okay, what have you got to do today? Have you edited that post? Have you gotten it ready? Have you written your caption? And sometimes even days that I forget my caption, guess what? I'm still going to post that video and think of a random caption that suits that video in that very moment, and I am going to post it. And it's a game changer. So I want you to focus on just making progress. Don't try to be perfect, because when you try to be perfect and bring out the best at that particular time, you might see everything that is wrong in that situation, and that might just stop you from making progress. And that way you've deprived yourself from posting. You've deprived your audience from discovering you that day. So I want you to please focus on just making progress rather than trying to perfect the whole scenario, making sure that all the T's are dotted, right? And all, what do we say? All the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. So progress over perfection is the goal. All right. Okay. Now, another strategy that has been working for me is the fact that I set a daily non-negotiable. This means that I must do something every day. So it's either, am I reading? Am I researching? Am I understanding my audience better? Am I editing? Am I recording? Or am I posting? Something has got to be happening every day regarding my goal. So gone are those days where I'm not taking my life seriously, or gone are those days when I'm not taking this goal seriously. So every day I'm like, what am I doing today? Am I recording? Am I editing? Am I posting? Or am I researching for the next thing that I want to talk about? Or am I researching to understand the problems that my audience is facing so I know how to help them solve it? So you have to make sure that there's something that you're doing every day concerning your goal. And that's the only way to make progress. Because another thing I've realized is the more I think about my goal, the more clarity that I get. The more I think about my goal, the more I want to do something about it, and the more I get the energy to actually do something about it. So I noticed that when I don't think about a goal, I don't find the energy to do it. I don't find the inspiration. I don't find the clarity or even the creativity to do something about it. But when I spend time thinking about this goal over and over again, the energy finds its way to me, the creativity finds its way to me, the clarity finds its way to me, and then I'm able to find the right content to create that will be valuable to my audience. So make sure that you're thinking about your goal on a daily basis, and make sure that you're setting a daily non-negotiable, which means that I am not only going to think about my goal today, I am going to do something about it. So whether it's researching, whether it's creating that content, writing that post, or actually posting so that the world gets to see it, right? So that's the second thing that has been working out for me. Now, another strategy that has been a game changer is that since that I'm now constantly thinking about my goal on a day-to-day basis, and I have this rule where I say, before I consume other people's content online, I must create my own, right? So I'm consciously shifting myself from that consumer mode to creative mode, where I plan my day and I'm like, okay, you know what am I going to create today? So whether I'm getting it written down or I'm actually turning on my camera to actually record, I am going to do something that my future self will be thankful for today before I go out there to go consume other people's content. Because once you start consuming, it's like a roller coaster before you know it. The whole day has gone. Now, depending on the kind of content that you get to consume that day, it might actually foil your mood or actually spoil your mood. And so, because every day when I wake up, I get clarity, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to create before I consume. And so that has been working for me. And this is particularly helpful for me because I spend all my day on Instagram. I spend all my day on YouTube. And so before you know it, I've spent hours just consuming random content from educative to entertainment to whatever it is that I could find depending on my mood for the day. But I noticed that when I started to focus on create before you consume, it's been a real game changer because I've already gone ahead to give value for that day, for my goal. And then when I spend time doing other things like consuming other people's content, I don't feel as guilty because I still got something done that day. I researched on my goal, I worked on my goal, I created that video, I made that post, or I actually even posted and released it out to the world. So that strategy has really worked out for me, and I'm hoping that it does work out for you. Now, another strategy that has also been a game changer is me having a weekly content plan. Who's calling me? All right, so having a weekly content plan has been a game changer because I've noticed that when I already know what I want to do for the week, it actually helps me plan my week better. And also, given the fact that I have a zillion and one things that I am doing besides the fact that I am trying to, monetize my skill set, it helps me to know when and where I want to fit things within the day. So, Saturday evening, sometimes Sunday morning, I'm planning out my week where I'm documenting, times I want to record, times I want to research, times that I want to, edit. I'm, fitting all of that within my week. And sometimes the actual time of the day would change, but the fact that I've actually fit that task for that week or for that day actually works for me. And one thing I've noticed is that whatever we think about becomes our reality. And so it's very important for us to be conscious of what we think. Every time I tell myself that tomorrow I'm going to do XYZ, I wake up and my mind tells me these are the things you've planned out to do today. So go ahead and do it. I have noticed whether it's me trying to go to the gym, whether it's me trying to record, whether it's me trying to edit, whether it's me trying to just stay clean with my eating, as long as I tell myself the night before I go to bed, it actually works out. And so I've started using this for my benefit. And it helps me plan out my week where I'm like, you know what, this week I'm going to record 3 videos, 3 long form videos. Out of those 3 long form videos, they're going to be edited into let's say 12 shorts. I'm going to create other types of video. I'm going to focus on copywriting. Once I list those out, it makes the day easy for me because today, for example, today, I already knew that today I was going to wake up and record. So when I woke up, even my entire script, what I want to talk about while I was taking my shower was right there in my mind, all refreshed because I already told myself that today you are going to record. So this strategy is so important and it's been super helpful, and it actually gives structure to your day and your time. So if you're someone who doesn't really plan out your week or plan out your day before it actually happens, this is a game changer because it'll help you live a more structured life and you would not be overwhelmed because you're already assigning tasks to your day. And so that way you get to live a more intentional day and a more intentional life, thereby realizing your goal of monetizing your skill. Now, the final strategy that has been a game changer for me is celebrating every win. Honestly, yesterday I found myself dancing. And why was I dancing? Because I went back to, my social media. I went back to like my goal for the week and I realized that I got it all done. And in all honesty, I was so happy. Even though like there are other things that I could have done, right? And there are other things I could focus on. Like, for example, how many views did he get? How many chats did I get? Did I get any comments? Did I get any DM? And all that stuff. I decided not to focus my energy on that. I'm like, you know what? You set out a goal to post 5 times this week, to create this many videos, to create this many content, and you got it done. Woo! Kudos to yourself. And hey, I danced myself out yesterday and I was proud of myself and it made a whole difference. It changes your perspective from, just focusing on the next thing that you've got to do or the next thing that you're yet to do. So you staying in the moment and living in the moment and appreciating what you actually got done. Because if I look back at my life just a few weeks ago, I wasn't even here. Just a few weeks ago, this content were not even existing. But here am I, end of the week, I've made this much progress and that deserves a little dance. And so I did. And it's so important because our mood affects our life, our thought affects our mood. And so when we think positively, we're able to act positively. And when we act positively, we're able to then get that creativity to actually even keep going. And that helps us stay consistent. And so this is my 5 strategies that has been working for me. And I hope that it begins to work for you if you're yet to try out this strategy. The goal is for us to stay consistent, stay online, keep pushing, keep going until you get to the very end. Never stop. One thing that keeps me going also every day that I like to add as a bonus is I think of everything that I'm doing as planting a tree. So the day that I decided to monetize my business skill set and start helping small business owners to build structured, scalable businesses that can run without them, I thought that was the day that I created a seed and I planted it in the ground, right? Now, depending on how big that tree is going to grow, is also going to be how big the seed and this root is going to grow. And so for a period of time, I might not see it, sprout out of the floor, right? And that's because it's building its foundation under the ground. And that's how I see my mission. And so every day when I don't see it sprout, I'm like, you know what? The foundation is expanding underneath the ground. And because I can't see underneath the ground, I can't really see the things that are working, but I know that something is working. And I'm hopeful that something is working. And I know that at the end of the day, I am going to see that seed sprout into a mature tree that will touch lives and transform generations. And so that also keeps me going. And I want you to also have a similar analogy that you can use for your dream and your goals, because it's important for us to stay hopeful and just, believe that our dreams will become a reality. And so that thought keeps me going and keeps me thriving. And so when I put out a content out there and it looks like it's not getting traction, I am quickly reminded that, hey, even though you may not see it, it doesn't mean that there is no traction. And so that keeps me going. And I hope that that would also keep you going. Thank you very much for spending this time with me. If you got to this very part of this video, I love you. Thank you very much. And I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Remember that we are in this together, okay? So make sure that you're doing something about your goals every day so that your future self can be grateful. If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and more importantly, please share with a friend. Thank you very much. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.